Hi guys, it's Stock Curry, and in today's video I have a major update for you on 8 different stocks, including Tesla, RIVN, and Lucid. I also have a cryptocurrency I've never talked about before on this channel that I want to introduce you to. So let's get into it! Okay, in yesterday's video, I said that the rise in EV stocks reminded me a lot of the rise in dot-com stocks at the end of 1999. And I got a lot of comments on that video, things like people saying, oh, PE ratios don't matter anymore, and this is a new investment, or new type of market. Retail investors, they don't care about the PE ratios and RSIs and all this stuff. And people said that these stocks should be highly valued for, this reason, that reason. And they said that I was too old, I couldn't think like that, and this was a new market. Wait a second. No, they didn't say those things yesterday. They said those things back in February when I said assets were overvalued and we were about to get a correction. And then, well, in March and April, all the stocks they were holding dropped 50 and 60%. When I was on my channel telling people to hold cash and sell out and get ready for a dip in the market. You see, history forgotten is bound to be repeated. It's amazing that just 10 months ago, a lot of retail investors got burned when the stocks they were holding dropped 50 and 60% in March and April after they thought everything was just going to run up forever in January and February. And here we are once again, all the way now in November, where a lot of these EV stocks are just running up what seems like forever with no end in sight. And here, once again, I'm saying these are going to come back down, and it's reminding me a lot of the 1999 dot-com bubble. And once again, people have completely forgotten about what happened in March and April. They've completely forgotten that stocks don't just go up forever, and that they do come back down. And now, Jim Cramer has come out and said that his advice on Lucid and Rivian is to heed the lessons from the dot-com bubble. Jim Cramer sees the exact same thing that I see, that the speculation and the run-up that we're seeing in EV stocks right now is 100% identical to the run-up that we saw in dot-com stocks back in 1999. And I gave my reasons yesterday why I think they're going to come down, why I think we're going to enter a bear market. You can take that and do what you want to with it. My only recommendation would be to go back and look through history and learn from history and don't repeat the mistakes of the past, especially the mistakes that were made back in March and February. There's a lot of people watching this channel that are still down on the year because they're still bag holding stocks that they bought in January and February. So I just want to encourage you to go look at history, learn from it, and don't repeat the mistakes from the past. Okay, now on to some short-term good news. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told lawmakers that she now estimates that the U.S. will reach the debt limit on December 15th instead of December 3rd. That gives lawmakers 2 additional weeks to strike a deal before the United States runs out of money and they're unable to pay their bills. So this is really good because it could delay a correction in the markets. Now, one thing I do want to point out, though, is that we still have the government shutdown that is still looming on December 3rd. And so even though the Congress and Senate can delay working on the debt limit increase, they still have to work out a budget before December 3rd. Otherwise, we're going to get a government shutdown. And the last time we got a government shutdown, back when Trump was in office, the stock market absolutely tanked. I mean, it was a full-on correction, more than 10%. And that could happen once again. So I just want to keep in mind that in the short term, over the next few weeks, there are some serious catalysts that could cause a downturn in the market. So just be aware of that and make sure you're hedging your portfolio and you're prepared for a short-term downturn in the market. Now, if you're a long-term investor, you can just hold. It doesn't really matter because, 5-6 months from now, the market will fully recover and we'll go back on to new all-time highs. But if you're a short-term investor, short-term trader, you'll want to think about maybe taking some profits and getting some hedges in your portfolio, such as like UVXY and VXX and SPXU and SQQQ and things like that. Okay, let's get into the stock picks. For those of you guys who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stock picks on YouTube. Every day, I spend hours and hours and hours watching YouTube videos, and then I consolidate all of the stock picks from the top YouTubers and I put them together into a single video. I give you both the cliff notes on their stock picks as well as my analysis on their stock picks. Now, if anything I talk about today piques your interest, make sure you listen to who I say talked about that stock, and then go watch their video to get the full details on what they said. Now, all I ask for putting all of this together for you guys is that you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page. And if you're on YouTube, next to the subscribed button, click the bell icon and click all so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. Alright, before we get into today's stock picks, I just want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I talk about today is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold. These are just my opinions which may or may not be accurate. Please do your own research before investing in any asset. If you're wondering what you're looking at right now, this is the Webull desktop app. Webull is the app that I use for my trading, and it is also the app that I use in all of my videos. If you'd like to get 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit just $100, Webull will send you 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. Alright, let's get into today's stock and crypto picks. And first up is AXS. This is AxieInfinity. It's a crypto related to the metaverse. Stockmo said he bought some AXS on Wednesday. He thinks the downside potential is around $120. AXS popped up after Facebook changed their name to Meta, and now it's holding strong above $120. Next up is AMC. This is AMC Movie Theaters. AMC has had a strong week so far. AMC is up over 10% over the past 5 trading days. Keen and Grace let us know that even though Citigroup maintained their sell rating on AMC, they increased their AMC position by 184% in the third quarter. So it looks like Citigroup is just telling people that AMC is overvalued so that they can get the stock price down, which will afford them the opportunity to buy more at a lower price. So Citigroup is buying the dip. What are you going to do? Next up is DKNG. This is DraftKings, and they're an online sports betting company. A few months ago, I said DKNG was overvalued and due for a pullback. I'm now telling you it's undervalued and due for a rebound. Stockmo said DKNG is one of the biggest losers in his portfolio. He didn't want to just keep blindly buying into it though, so he took a closer look at it today. Stockmo said DKNG is spending a lot of money right now in order to expand. Customer acquisition costs are high, and they are spending millions of dollars to enter new states. Further, the deal for one of their companies DKNG wanted to buy fell through. So that's why the share price has been falling. Now, technically, DKNG remains a falling knife. It is oversold on the RSI, and it is also approaching a strong level of support at $35. I think once DKNG gets down to $35, it will be a buy. Chris Zane said it was in a buy zone now. Longer term, the average analyst 1-year price target is $65.27, which represents a 72% upside from Wednesday's closing price. Next up is LCID. This is Lucid Group, and they're an American EV manufacturer. Yesterday, I said I thought LCID would rise up again on Wednesday and hit about 85 on the RSI before it would start dropping. And that is exactly what we saw today. LCID opened the day, ran up to $57.75 before dropping and closing the day at $52.55. It is also down another 4% after hours. It looks like I called this one perfectly, and Larry Jones also said it's time to take profits on LCID. Next up is NIO. This is NIO, and they're a Chinese EV manufacturer. Larry Jones said that if NIO drops down to $38.50, he would buy it, and then he would sell it at $44. This is a swing trade for Larry Jones. He thinks NIO will run up going into NIO Day. NIO missed out on the run-up that a lot of the other EV stocks have had over the past few weeks. The reason is because, as Tom Nash pointed out, China is only expected to grow their economy by 5% next year. China is focused on social welfare programs right now, and it's taking a hit on their economy. A downturn in the Chinese economy will be bad for Chinese stocks, including NIO. Despite that, ZipTrader thinks NIO has a lot of upside potential next year. He sees NIO's new sedan coming out in Q1 of 2022 as one positive catalyst, and he sees NIO's production capacity expansion being good for the company as well. Analysts agree that the NIO share price will go up next year. The average analyst one-year price target is $65, which represents a 63% upside from Wednesday's closing price. Next up is PLTR. This is Palantir, and they're a data analytics company. Chris Sain said PLTR is entering a buy zone, but it isn't there yet. Chris Sain gave a buy-enter price of $22 and an ideal buy-in price of $18. I will let you know that technically I agree with Chris Sain on his $22 buy-enter price, but I'm going to give you a $21 ideal buy-in price. Next up is RBLX. This is Roblox, and they're an online gaming platform. Keena Gray said the reason RBLX has been running up is because they have basically already created the metaverse, and people have figured this out and are buying the stock. I will also let you know that they reported better than expected earnings, which is another reason why the share price has been running up. Now, though, RBLX is overbought, and it's due for a pullback. Keena Gray inferred that there might be an opportunity to make money on RBLX with put options. Now, RBLX is only at 74 on the RSI, so it could still continue to run higher. But possibly on Thursday or Friday, we'll see signs of it topping out, where RBLX will then be a good stock to short with a put option. Next up is RIVN. This is Rivian Automotive. They're an EV startup similar to Lucid Motors, but instead of focusing on the luxury car market, Rivian is focusing on the off-road truck market. Stockmo and Tom Nash both said RIVN is extremely overvalued right now. Tom Nash explained how if you go super aggressive with the valuation and count every single pre-order as a full sale, then RIVN is currently sitting at a price-to-sales ratio of 216. That makes Tesla's price-to-sale ratio of 21 seem cheap. And keep in mind that value investors are looking for a price-to-sales ratio below 4 with an ideal price-to-sales ratio of 1. There has not been a company with a price-to-sales ratio above 200 since the dot-com bubble in 1999. Now, don't get me wrong, Rivian makes an awesome vehicle. Their vehicle is the new standard for what EV trucks should be. Rivian probably makes one of the best EVs on the market right now, with Lucid in a close second. But share prices need to be based upon sales, revenue, and earnings. And yes, future sales are important, and we have to consider growth when determining the valuation of a company. And even considering future sales and growth, both RIVN and LCID are significantly overvalued right now. And last up is TTCF. This is Tattooed Chef, and they're a plant-based foods company. Jeremy with Financial Education explained why TTCF ran up over 14% on Wednesday. Jeremy said a lot of people sold off going into earnings because the earnings call was delayed. A lot of weak hands got shaken out. On Wednesday, some large purchases came in from some large institutions which pushed the share price up. These are large institutions who bought the dip. I had said yesterday how TTCF was at a strong support level and it would be a good time to buy in. Large institutions saw the same thing I did and bought in on Wednesday. Jeremy said that you really have to focus on the long term and ignore the quarterly numbers right now, because TTCF is 100% focused on growth and not on improving their EBITDA and earnings. So the quarterly numbers might look bad from an earnings standpoint, but from a growth standpoint, they look good. TTCF is doing SKU expansion and store expansion right now. All of that costs money right now, but will result in explosive growth in the future. So Jeremy with Financial Education said most people who are invested in TTCF right now are long-term investors who can see the future, and they are not short-term traders who Jeremy calls weak hands who have already gotten shooken out. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Comment down below what your favorite stock pick is. And if you've been thinking about taking the ZipTrader U course, I want to let you know that ZipTrader is going to be increasing his prices very soon. And very soon that course is going to be well over $400, possibly as much as $500. So right now, ZipTrader has a promotion with a discount code, where you can get $100 off the course and you can pay just $299. That's a one-time fee. You get lifetime access to both the training course to help teach you how to buy and sell stocks, how to do technical analysis, how to know when to buy, when to sell, how to research stocks and all that. But also you get lifetime access to his morning briefings where he alerts on stocks that very often will run up 400 or 500% during the day. And so all of that is available right now for just $299 using promotion code Black Friday 100. Again, Black Friday 100, all one word. So if you look in the link in the description below, go ahead and head on over to my page, scottcurry.me/promotions. Click that link for ZipTrader U, but instead of entering Stock Curry 15, enter Black Friday 100. That'll get you $100 off, which is even a better deal than I normally run. Okay, if you are looking for a broker to trade with, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. Now, when you sign up for Webull using my link in the description below, and you deposit just $100, Webull's going to send you 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. Now, if you're not a U.S. resident, or if you like to trade OTC penny stocks, or if you just don't like payment for order flow, then I recommend Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers is a highly discounted trading platform. They have trades starting at just $1 US, $1 Canadian dollar, 4 euros, or 6 Australian dollars, depending upon where you live. And they also have cryptocurrency trading with trades starting at just 0.18%. Now, both Webull and Interactive Brokers offer the full pre-market and after-hours trading from 4 a.m. until 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I do want to remind you that I have material connections with both of those, so whenever you sign up for either one, not only are you getting a great broker to trade with, you're also helping me to continue to produce these great videos for you. Now, finally, I want to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe, click the bell icon, and follow the page if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.